Hi, Coach Latanya here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips that can help you succeed in fat loss. So before we go into it, I want to give you a quick backstory. Back in 2017, 2016, I developed adrenal fatigue syndrome. And basically, what that is when you are doing so much, you're so active and you're not having, at least for me, I was so active, I didn't have enough rest into my week in order to recover from all of the activity. I was coaching clients physically. I had personal training clients within that studio. I had personal training clients outside of that studio. So I would train after work. I would even train on my days off and also on the weekends. So if I wasn't working in the studio on Saturday, I would be training on Saturday. If I was out of the studio by 5 or 6, I would be training at 7 or 8. Okay, and so I really didn't have, and then I would have to be up by 4:30 the next morning in order to go to the studio, open up, start a class, training, substituting classes if I needed to, all of that. Okay, on top of that, I was also helping to manage that studio. 5 kids at home at the time, married, and I was also leading worship. Now, leading worship is not necessarily physically demanding as far as being, I'm not lifting or anything like that, but praying and praying and then leading others into hopefully the presence of God. And so I needed to pray and hear what it is Creator wanted to do, what it was that He was doing, and then create a playlist that would go along with what He wanted to do. In addition to that, I know I'm not done. In addition to that, sometimes that would require praise dancing, some people call it, but basically it is like liturgical dancing. So I would do that as well, which also requires about 6 hours of choreography, and then I would do that when it was asked of me as well. Okay, so that was that season of my life where I was doing so much, and they were all great things. They were all great things. I was helping, I was serving, I was doing all of those things, but I was not resting. At this time, I actually believed, and I kid you not, I believed that rest and sleep were synonymous. I did not understand. I did not know that there was a difference. I had the cues of feeling tired. I wasn't feeling tired. Of course, I feel tired at night, getting sleepy at night, but I have a lot of energy. Thank God for that. I understand that it's a gift, but I also learned at that time that although I have a gift, I also have to steward the gift with rest. Okay, so that is the backstory. That's how I developed adrenal. That's how I developed adrenal fatigue, and in with that, I was no longer able to regulate body temperature. So I would like break a light sweat, and it would send me into anxiety. Anxiety attacks were through the roof. Waking up at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, getting sick a lot. I rarely get sick, and when I do, my body handles it pretty well. Thank God again. But I started to develop. I remember I had a virus like within months. Like 1 month I had something, the next month I had something, and that's not like me. I noticed that my joints started to ache. And that's from just breaking down, right? Using the muscle so much without proper recovery, you're breaking down the muscle to the point where it's not recovering. So I started to feel achy. I was feeling tired. I was feeling unmotivated, irritable. I just didn't even have the emotional bandwidth to deal with things, right? And weight gain. Okay? That weight came on like overnight. I know there'd be some days when I would be so bloated, my belly would be bloated, and there might be videos now where you see me working out or even doing these types of videos and my belly seems to be more bloated. That's because either I didn't get enough sleep, maybe the dogs woke me up in the middle of the night, something was going on, and my body is tired, and so the cortisol is elevated. So I still practice these tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today. All right. So I gained about 15-20 pounds, and I had not been able to lose that weight since that time. So my weight went from about 135, 132 to 150, and then I got up to 156. So I was almost 60 pounds. So that was, from the cortisol, your body can gain weight, and it'll hold on to that weight for dear life. And so I, I wasn't even able to work out. It took me 3 years to recover. Now, if you're just going into that syndrome, it doesn't take as long, but I had been in it and I was deep in it. So it took my body at least 3 years to recover. And that brings us to 2020. And what I loved about 2020 is I was finally able to run on the treadmill without freaking out. I was finally able to lift weights for 30 minutes and feel fine and not feel exhausted for the rest of the week. And so I was able to finally lift weights, finally break a sweat. And I still had, some way to go, but I was much better. But now, thank God, I am healed. So it took me years to recover from this, okay? And in 2021, I was still in the 150s. That's when I had gotten up to 156, my heaviest. But what happened was I saw a photo that a family member had taken of me, and that was my breaking beat. I no longer recognized my body. It made sense as to why I felt heavy when I walked and things like that. I realized that, okay, it was an eye opener for me. Now, 156 may not be heavy for everyone, and I understand that. I respect that. But for my frame, it was heavy. And so I experienced things like just being hot all the time, right? I was hot all the time, still had a lot of energy, but I did have more body fat on my body than I wanted to have, okay? And so that was not okay for me because I saw more cellulite on my body, on my arms, and I saw more weight around my belly, my midsection, my cheeks. I saw a lot of weight on my cheeks. I just looked like a different person. That is the gist of how I gained that weight and was unable to take it off. So in 2021, right, I was working out. I was able to go to 5 to 6 days a week. I had not been able to do that since I was sick. Okay. 5 to 6 days a week I was working out. And then on top of that, I would be, I would be training clients. So I had to back off the way that I train clients instead of working out every session, every complete session. I have fun working out with my clients. I love each and every one of them. But I don't do that anymore. I'll do some demonstrations. I'll do a few of the workouts, things like that. So I'm still active. Also at that time, I was walking my dog twice a day. She's a big girl. She needs to be walked. Otherwise, she's anxious and she's all over the place. So that's like 3,500 steps. So that's 7,000 steps in addition to working with, demonstrating workouts and things like that. I was easily doing 10K steps a day. Easily. Okay. Then I would go and do about 20 to 30 minutes of cardio. And then I would also lift. And I was doing this 5 to 6 days a week. So what I would notice is on like day 3 or 4, my weight would be up. It would be up about 2 pounds. And I didn't understand, why is it up? Why is my weight going up when I'm eating right? I'm working out right. I'm doing all of the things right. And when I say working out right, I'm not being frantic about, I have to burn a certain amount of calories. I just needed to move. So 20 to 30 minutes on the treadmill, get a nice little sweat going, get a nice little pump going. I'm done. I'm going about the rest of my day. Some days it would be hot in the gym and I wouldn't work out. So I would go and do my dance workouts, right? And I would do 20 minutes, or maybe walk on the treadmill if it's been a long day. 20-30 minutes on the treadmill, no more than that. And what I would notice is the next day, the next morning, I weigh myself and my weight is down. It's down a pound. So why is it down when I do less and up when I do more? It should be the opposite. So then I started to realize, you know what? It's my cortisol levels. That's why the weight is not moving. My cortisol levels are elevated. So that is when I started doing more of the walking workouts. Once I saw that those walking workouts were benefiting me, I started this channel because I wanted to help you elevate wellness as well. And that brings us here to today. Okay? So if you're still with me, thank you for hanging in there. Now I'm going to share those tips, okay? So the first thing that I had to do is I had to implement meal timing. And the reason why is because I have a tendency to be caught up in editing a video, right? It can take me 4 hours to edit a video, and I will not stop until. So I make sure that I eat before the task that I'm doing. So I'll eat, and then I'll do this task, and then I'll go back and I'll eat again, and then I'll do another task. So I make sure now that my meal timing is every 4 hours, okay? Every 4 hours is good for me because of the type of work that I do. I need that energy to be sustained, and food is fuel, okay? Food is not calories. Food is not a number. Food is fuel. So I make sure that I'm getting enough fuel in my body that I can go and go and go. Think about a car driving from New York to Atlanta on one tank of gas. It's not possible. Okay, so when we are not properly timing our foods, or going, you know what, I'll eat when I get home tonight, and you haven't eaten since lunch, or you haven't eaten since breakfast, that, if you're struggling with weight loss, that could be one of the things, is your body is holding on to the weight. And then when you're cutting your calories even more, feeling like, well, if I don't eat, I should be able to lose the weight. But that might be why you're not losing the weight. Macros are your fats, your carbs, and your proteins, all right? I believe that genetics has a huge part to play with it. I also believe that your age and your activity level as well, right? I know that, your age and your activity level. Because if you're really active, the demands of protein that you're going to need might be different than someone who is more sedentary. Now, I've tried plant-based proteins, and I tried to go predominantly plant-based protein, but I felt like I was starving. I did not feel well. I tried it 4 times, and I was not successful. I spoke to someone who's a career vegetarian, and he helped me to understand that as active as I am, my body is not going to synthesize that plant protein as quickly as I need it. So when I'm eating animal sources, those animal sources, it's protein right away. And so I don't have to wait for it to synthesize. I don't have to feel sore or tired or sluggish or winded, because my body uses it and knows what to do with it. And I believe that is also genetic as well. Okay, so your macros should be customized to you, to your age, to your stage in life, to your activity level, and who you are. So what I do right now, currently, my carbs are at 20% because carbs are important. Fats are at 50%, and my proteins are at 30%. Okay, I find that that is excellent for me and for the energy and for the life that I have. My carbs are at 20%, and that's on the lower end. So I have about 100 to 70 net carbs to 100, and I feel great with that. Again, because my body is using fat and also protein for the energy sources. My sources of carbs are quinoa, lentils, beans, nuts, seeds, broccoli, kale, beets, a lot of whole foods, blueberries, grapefruit, pear, a lot of whole food, okay? Those are my sources of carbs. My fat sources are avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, coconut oil, hemp hearts. Those are things I eat every day, okay? So my fats are not from deep fried foods. They are healthy fats, all right? I also had to rethink my workout. Okay. I had to rethink my workouts because I saw it as me getting 5 to 6 days a week. I did not realize that all of the activity that I do on a day-to-day basis also counted. I was just living life. I wasn't taking into account, and that's why I bought this fitness tracker. The fitness tracker helps me to see, okay, if I'm at 11,000 steps and it's 12 o'clock, I need to be mindful of that. I need to be mindful of making sure I get that extra food in if I need it. I need to be mindful in not going past. I try my hardest not to go past 16,000 steps. If I'm doing that, then I'm going to need a lot more food. I'm going to need a lot more rest, and I'm not able to do all the things I want to do the following day. So I pace myself by keeping it at 16,000 steps. Now that may not be your life, but that's my life, and this is why plant-based proteins are not going to work for me, because I'm going and I need my strength, I need my stamina, I need it for my life. Okay, so I had to rethink those workouts, and I went from going to 5 to 6 days a week, because that would keep me inflamed consecutively every week, and my weight would be up 2 pounds. And then if I ate out or ate off plan, that's another 2 pounds, and then there's 4 pounds, 5 pounds right there. So that is when I took stepped back, and I do 3 lifting days, especially during the summertime because I'm out in the garden and things like that. 3 lifting days, and that is an upper body, upper body, or upper lower total, something like that. Okay, so I'm hitting all of the muscle groups. I try to also get 10K steps in a day, and that is comprised of my walking workout. Now I also count, if I'm recording a workout, then that counts as my workout as well. So that's 20 to 30 minutes. And then I also do one walk with my dog, and then I will do some demonstrations with clients. So that helps me to keep it at about 13 to 16 with some house cleaning with house cleaning and all the other things I have to do as a wife and as a mom to help out around the house. So that's how I had to change my workout. I also had to change the intensity of the workout, because studies show that the intensity of a vigorous activity, even at 80%, so 80% intensity of a vigorous workout for even 30 minutes can elevate cortisol. And I noticed that because I could feel the same thing. I could feel those symptoms. I could feel winded. I could feel tired. I could feel those things after, doing a 30-minute session. Because again, I like to do that. Slamming the rope, throwing the ball, doing these things. It feels so good. But if I've had a long day or I have a busy day, then I don't need to do that. I'll do a walking workout. The walking workout helps to lower cortisol. That's right. Walking helps to lower cortisol. So by me going out walking with the dog, walking out in nature, all of those things are really, really good. Going out gardening, right? I'm getting steps in still, but I'm gardening, and that also helps to lower cortisol. I'm doing a workout that I enjoy for 20 to 30 minutes long, so it helps me to build strength, but it's not elevating cortisol. Okay? So I had to rethink the way I work out. The next one is food quality. This is a big one for me because I really had to untangle what was food and what was a product. So when I was not well, I was eating a lot of protein shakes, protein bars, protein cookies, protein products, right? And I still have protein shakes today. I have about 2 a day, but I'm having that with 3 or 4 meals, okay? So the protein shakes are for supplementing. They are not a meal. But I would literally have like a protein shake and a protein bar, and I'm eating the bar 2 or 3 bites. I'm eating the bar while I'm running into a session. Someone calls out and says they can't teach a class. I'll take a protein shake. I'll go teach that class, crush that class because I want to serve well, right? And then I'll go back and have another protein bar, maybe with a protein shake. And then I'd run, when I had a break, I would run over to, like Five Guys, get a burger with a lettuce wrap, have a few fries with that, go back, train about 3 or 4, then go home, cook dinner, help my kids with homework, and then if I had clients at night, then I would train that client at night, and then I would have to go to bed, by 9:30, 10 o'clock. So that was what I was eating, a lot more processed foods, and they're labeled as healthy, low fat, low in sugar, but those are still products. So I was depleted. My magnesium was depleted, which was helping the anxiety to go through the roof as well. So I had to also really focus on eating more whole food, and I still do that today. Lastly, rest. I had to separate rest from sleep, okay? I had to make sure that I'm getting enough sleep, which is 7.5 to 8 hours every night. If I sleep 8 hours, 8.5 hours, I know that I am tired. Right now I'm looking outside. Right now we're currently having these smoke in our air. With the smoke in the atmosphere, I noticed that I slept like 8 hours last night. So that's my body probably recovering from breathing in the poor air, right? My lungs doing the work, healing, recovering, and things like that. And I honor that. But now I'm learning that it doesn't mean that I'm weak when I need more sleep. It doesn't mean that I hate being weak. I never wanted to be weak. I always, as a child, as a girl, I always wanted to be Wonder Woman, right? That strong woman with muscles and fighting crime and helping others. I've always been that person. That's who I am. And so, taking naps and taking rest to me was like, please, ain't nobody trying to do that. But I realized that, I'm human, and humans need rest. And that was what motivated me to even start my self-care, my natural skincare and hair care line, because it helps you to really just unwind and enjoy the luxury of a product and what it does for you, the smell, the feel, the touch, all of that, the benefits of it as well. So rest for me now looks like taking Saturdays completely off, because I still help out with ministry sometimes, and so those Sundays I leave for that, leave time for that. Also, the rest for my soul, I had to change my dialogue. So I used to say, oh, I gotta go do this. I gotta go run to do this real quick, right? I'm gonna go run to train this client. I'm gonna go run to do that, right? I had to stop saying that to I get to work with this client. I get to go pick my children up. I get to drop them off to school. I get to do those things. Not I have to, but I get to. So I had to reframe the way that I saw things. And then I also took ashwagandha, rhodiola, passion fruit. Those things really helped me, magnesium, those things really helped me to get back on the other side, come back on the other side from that adrenal fatigue as well. All right, so if you want to know more about adrenal fatigue, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll do more videos on that, a little bit more in depth. But those are the things that I did to help me drop body fat. Now, I know that when we hear, oh, I need to lose weight, we automatically think that means we need to be in a deficit of 500 calories. We need to be doing these rigorous workouts, maybe even 2-a-day workouts. But I can tell you, if you're over the age of 40 and those things are no longer working for you, right? You were 20 years ago, all right? Your body has changed. Our bodies will continue to change, right? But that doesn't make you old. It means that your body has changed. And so if those things are not working for you, I invite you to stop by my virtual wellness studio at latanyabaruch.com and book a wellness session with me. You and I can create a customized plan for you that is specific to your needs, your lifestyle, and your abilities, okay? So I want to thank you so much. If this is your first time and you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'd love for you to join this community. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I sincerely do these videos for you guys, hoping that I am helping someone elevate wellness. So my goal here now is on Mondays, we'll be doing Move It Mondays. And then on Thursdays, I'll be sharing either a tip or some self-care. something that can help you, even my what I eat in a day, something that can help you elevate wellness. All right, until next time, live beautiful.